For 300,000 years, humans slept twice a night. Then we stopped. Tonight, when you flip off the light switch and lie down in bed, you're doing something that's actually foreign to your own body. Not because the sleep itself is wrong, but because of how you're doing it. You sleep once. One long block, 6 to 8 hours from night until morning. No break. No waking up in the middle of the night to just sit, think, or talk quietly with the person next to you. But for almost the entire history of our species, that's not how humans slept. For 300,000 years, humans slept twice a night, and we only stopped doing it about 200 years ago. Let's start here. Before electricity, before light you could summon with the flip of a switch, the night was a long, dark stretch. The sun went down and the human world stopped. No television, no screens, no way to artificially extend the day. The logic seems simple, right? Longer nights should mean longer sleep. Except that's not what happened. Humans slept in two parts. A historian named Roger Ekirch spent over a decade digging through thousands of historical documents, diaries, court records, medical texts, even poetry from pre-industrial Europe, and he found the same pattern over and over across hundreds of different sources. People called it first sleep and second sleep. The standard pattern looked like this. Once the sun went down, usually around 9 or 10 at night, people went to sleep. Not a nap, this was real sleep, 3 to 4 hours of it. Then they woke up. Not from an alarm, not from a nightmare. They woke up naturally in the middle of the night and stayed awake for 1 to 2 hours. This period had a name, the watch. And what people did during the watch was remarkably specific. They prayed, they reflected. They talked quietly with their partner about the dream they'd just had. Some couples used this window for intimacy. Medical texts from the era even noted it as a more fertile time than before sleep, since the body was already relaxed. Some people got out of bed entirely, visited neighbors, finished small chores. There's even a record of someone stealing a neighbor's chicken during this window, because everyone knew at this hour almost everyone else was awake too. After 1 or 2 hours, the watch ended. They went back to sleep, second sleep. It lasted until dawn. This wasn't a custom from one village, one country, or one culture. Ekirch found references scattered across all of Europe, from England to Italy, from the Middle Ages through the early 1800s. The pattern was consistent, almost like it wasn't a cultural habit at all, but something deeper, something biological. Here's where it gets interesting. In the 1990s, a psychiatrist at the National Institute of Mental Health named Thomas Ware ran an experiment that, almost by accident, proved what Ekirch had found buried in those old documents. Ware placed a group of participants in total darkness for 14 hours every night, mimicking the length of a winter night before electric light. No clocks, no artificial light, 14 hours of darkness every day for 4 straight weeks. For the first couple of weeks, sleep was messy. Their bodies were still trying to shake off years of modern conditioning. But by the 3rd week, something happened. Their sleep split into 2 blocks, almost exactly what Ekirch had described in 17th century documents. 3 to 5 hours of sleep, then 1 to 3 hours awake, calm, alert, not restless, not insomnia, then sleep again until morning. Ware measured melatonin levels during that middle-of-the-night waking window and found something unexpected. Melatonin stayed high. The brain wasn't treating this as morning, it stayed in rest mode, just conscious. Ware described the state as a kind of natural meditative window, not stress, not insomnia, but a pocket of calm the body deliberately built into its own rhythm. When stripped of artificial light, the human body automatically reverts to a 2-phase sleep pattern. This isn't a learned cultural habit, it's the biological default. So what changed it? Not the Industrial Revolution directly, not work schedules. The answer is smaller than that and much simpler. Streetlights. In the 1600s, major European cities started installing public lighting systematically. London went first, Paris followed. Suddenly, night wasn't total darkness anymore. People could go out after sunset. Cafes stayed open later. Social life shifted into hours that had once belonged entirely to the dark. Then came the electric bulb at the end of the 1800s, and everything changed completely. Artificial light suppresses the body's melatonin production. A brain that normally starts producing sleep hormones in darkness now gets fooled by streetlights, screens, and cities that never go fully dark. Sleep that used to split naturally into two periods got forced into one block because there was only one short window of darkness left to sleep in at all. Humans didn't evolve to sleep in one long block. We were forced into it in less than 200 years, a blink compared to the 300,000-year history of our species. And here's the part that's personal. If you've ever woken up at 3 a.m., eyes wide open, mind completely clear, not tired at all, and then panicked thinking something was wrong with your sleep, there's a good chance nothing was wrong at all. That's not insomnia. That might be your body, for a moment, trying to return to a pattern written into it for 300,000 years. The problem is the modern world has no room for the watch. No culture supports you waking up at 3 a.m. to sit quietly and reflect before drifting back to sleep without guilt. There's only anxiety. Why can't I sleep? I have work tomorrow. Something must be wrong. But for 300,000 years, that middle-of-the-night waking window wasn't a problem. It was a feature, not a bug. And it's not the only thing we lost. Ekirch noted that the watch served a social function that barely has a modern equivalent. Husbands and wives talked heart to heart in the dark, free of daytime distraction. Parents soothed children who'd woken up. Neighbors sometimes quietly visited one another. There was a quiet space built into every single night meant for reflection, not productivity, not entertainment, not scrolling a screen. We didn't lose that because we chose to. We lost it because of one small invention, the light bulb, that quietly rewrote one of the oldest rhythms in the human body. Now, when night falls and you flip that switch, you're telling your brain it's not time to stop yet. Your phone screen does the same thing, just smaller and closer to your face. Your body still carries the blueprint for that two-phase sleep. It's just never given the chance to use it again. We gained brighter nights. We gained longer working hours, entertainment that never stops, a world that stays on 24 hours a day. But we lost the quiet pause in the middle of the night that, for 300,000 years, was simply part of who we are. We're still creatures built to wake in the dark, sit still for a moment, and sleep again.